I'd like to talk to you now about some rudiments that'll help you with your fills and your solos. The first one is a buzz roll. When you press a stick tightly on the head of the drum, it'll hit it about four or five times, and then it'll stop. The second one comes in contact when the first one starts to fizzle out, kind of like, except faster. I've got a lot of pressure on my hands, and I'm pushing on that stick pretty hard. Next fill I'd like to talk about is a flam. Flam is kind of like a lazy drumstick. When I do it, it's my left hand that tags along. I hit it with the right hand, and then I do an echo with the left hand. I go like, and up. So if I do it a little quicker than that, I'll show you what I mean. I'll do a beat. I'd like to tell you now about a paradiddle. Paradiddles are great for fills and for solos. It's something you probably wouldn't think of on your own. Let me show you how to do this in slow motion. It alternates. Right hand once, right hand twice, left hand once, left hand twice. I'll show you again. Okay, this next one is one that I just kind of made up myself. I'm sure I probably copied it off a record or something. I've incorporated it a lot in my style. I do a double hit on my right hand and a single hit on my left hand. Now I'd like to talk to you about some interesting fills and accents. These are like 16th note fills, except they're, instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to use different drums. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 with the bass. And how I use that one, I use it for a fill on some of the heavier rock songs. I'll give you an example. The last one I'd like to show you is triplets. Again, it's triplets on the individual drums. Snare, tom, bass. Okay, let's put together what we've got so far. I'll be doing a basic rock beat, be doing some 16th and some 8th note fills. I'll be crashing on 1, and when I crash, I'll be using my bass drum along with it. After I get going a little bit, I might crash on 2, or I might crash on 3, or I might crash on 3 and. Let's just see what happens. Now I'd like to talk to you about practicing. There's two different ways to practice, and both are just as important as the other. The first way to practice is to slow everything down so that your mind's eye and your arms and your legs can understand what's going on. Like, don't try it too fast at first. Get used to it. The same with the ride in the left hand. Now, after you get comfortable with something and it becomes second nature, count yourself a beat and don't stop. Even if you make a mistake or two, keep your tempo solid. This is what it's like in real playing. Every once in a while, professional players still make a mistake. The tempo doesn't stop. So you go 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'd like to introduce you to some friends of mine. This is Randy Johnston on guitar, and this is Dave Talbot on keyboards. They're going to help me do some music examples. The first example we're going to be doing is rock. I'll be using the snare on 2 and 4, and I'll be using the bass drum on 1 and 3. It'll sound like this. I'll be doing some fills. I'll put some accents in to give it a little flavor. Ready, guys?
Ready.
1, 2, 3. Okay, for this next song, I'm going to be using a rim shot. I turn the stick around, I find the balance point, and I hold it against the rim of the drum, and I strike it. A little bit of overhang. You can experiment around with that. It's not a good sound. Get up in here, change sticks. Okay, that's a good sound right there. And when I do the ride, instead of keeping it straight, I'm going to put a little skip in it. It gives it a nice flavor. You can try that. Okay, and we'll be using the same snare and bass drum pattern. Ready, guys? Ready, partners? 1, 2, 3. Okay, this next song will be an example of some soft music. I'll be using a rim shot on the snare drum. I'll be using closed hi-hat. I'll be using the same beat that we've been using. Snare will be on 2 and 4. Bass drum will be on 1 and 3. I'll be doing some fills and some accents on the cymbals. And I'll be using the chimes on this one. These are some of the things that I do when I play worship music. You can use this on ballads and slow songs. It works great. Ready, guys? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this next one is an example of some slow blues. One of the characteristics of slow blues is that the ride is done in triplets. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. And I'll be playing the snare on 2 and 4. I'll be playing the bass on 1 and 3. I'll be going like this. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. And then partway through the song, I'll be doing an 8th note addition on the bass, and it'll sound like this. And then the fills that you use on a blues are triplets. Let's try it. Ready, guys? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, here we